Okay, I want to talk about a technique, a communication and leadership technique that is just really powerful. Uh, that really can help people very quickly see some great changes in themselves. It's a technique that I didn't really invent, but maybe discovered many years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. I was reading a book by Julia Cameron. The title of the book is The Artist's Way, and there's an exercise in the book to write out your thoughts. And I happened to have an injury at the time, so I could not write. So I was thinking, I really wanted to do the exercise. So I was thinking, how do I do this exercise? How do I do this exercise? And I thought to myself, well, I can't write, but what if I just spoke my thoughts? And I decided to give it a try. And it was just one of the most amazing discoveries that I had. So I gave this exercise a name. I call it verbal journaling. And if you really would like to learn more about, how it works, not so much how, but why it works, I would suggest you read The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. There's a chapter early on which describes it. But even if you don't read all the background, just knowing what I'm about to walk you through would be enough. You don't have to know the full background. So we're going to work with some concepts that are not necessarily, they're working concepts. Don't ask me to bring scientific proof of those concepts. They're working concepts, and why do I use them? Because they help. They're useful. So one of those concepts is a sensor in your mind. There's a sensor in your mind which censors things that you want to say or maybe even do. Why is the sensor there? I don't know. Who put it there? I don't know. But the sensor stops you. For example, I'll give you an example. Suppose you are in the management ranks and you have someone who works for you. They did something really good, really positive, and they accomplished something, and you had an impulse within you to say, wow, you did such a great job, I'm so impressed. But for some reason the sensor said, no, don't say that. It might just create problems. It might give the person a bigger ego. They may become demanding. They may become difficult to manage, whatever. But the sensor will stop you. The truth is, if you compliment someone like that, most cases, chances are that overall it would be a good thing. They would actually be more inspired to do more good work. But anyway, the point was, sensor in your mind has a tendency to censor you, to block you, to check you. So in this exercise, what we're going to do is we're going to learn to kind of take more control over the sensor, and be able to say more of what we should be saying, how we communicate. I really think that this exercise works miracles. It's a miraculous practice. Let me find some information on it, and let me take you through it. So this exercise is similar to the practice of writing in a journal, but there's one key difference, and the difference is you don't write your thoughts, you speak your thoughts. For this exercise, just for this exercise, I would suggest you set aside the idea of good and bad. Don't try to censor yourself and stop yourself from doing what you consider bad. I'm not saying you go out and without much deeper knowledge and experience start saying things that you know that are bad. I'm not suggesting you do that. But just for this exercise, as much as you can, set aside the idea of good and bad. We're going to see whatever is popping up in the head. In this exercise, we say it. The only thing we are watching for is a tendency to block it. Like, oh no, this is stupid, this is evil, this is wrong. So another point of this exercise key point is there's no wrong way to do this exercise as long as you keep speaking. If you become silent, then that is wrong. But as long as you're speaking, there's no wrong way to do this exercise. Alright, so to do this exercise, find a place where you will not be disturbed. Ideally, if you have good soundproofing, or if you are in a place where no one else can hear you, for example your car, that would be best. If you could really be unconcerned, totally not worried about who might hear you and what they might think, that's the best environment. But it's not easy to find that environment sometimes, so other places might work. You want to give yourself a set amount of time for this exercise. Let's say 5 minutes. You're going to give yourself 5 minutes, and you're going to make an intention that you will not stop the exercise before the 5 minutes. I mean, even if the building is on fire, you're going to keep doing the exercise. That's an extreme. You might, well, I don't know, it's up to you. But you're not going to, as much as possible, you're not going to stop doing the exercise. You're going to keep going. Next, you're going to pick a home phrase. Home phrase is an example is, I have nothing to say. Home phrase is the phrase you will say if nothing is coming to your mind or you can't think of what to say. Obviously stuff is there, but a lot of people say, well, I don't know what to say. If you're in that moment, if you're in that spot, just say, I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. I will show you. I will do this exercise live in front of you so you will know what I mean. Next thing is you're going to imagine, this is very important, you're going to imagine that there's an audience in front of you. The audience could be just one person, like someone important in your life, your grandmother, your boss, your significant other, your coworker, your subordinate, or it could be a group of people. There was a time I used to do this exercise imagining that I'm in a huge hall and the hall is full of people. So be sure that you have an audience in front of you, and when you do this exercise, when you speak your thoughts, I don't want you to just speak your thoughts. I want you to send your thoughts to the audience. Send your thoughts. It's like a yin-yang, yin versus yang. So yang, it's a yang effort. You're sending your thoughts. If you notice one of the other videos and we were listening to the sounds entering our ear, that was a yin practice. We were receiving, and this is sending. We are sending our thoughts. It's very important. I want you to get that. I don't want you to ignore that. I want you to be sending your thoughts. Think, and as soon as I think I'm sending my thoughts, something right here in my solar plexus just kind of shifts, changes. It kind of gears up. It's strong. It's ready to send. So you want to send your thoughts to the audience. Now you're going to start the clock, and you're going to start saying your home phrase. Unless you're already versed, you're going to say your home phrase. So if I were to show you, as an example, I click start the clock and I say, I have nothing to say. Oh my God, I have nothing to say. Oh, laughing doesn't count. Yeah, I have to keep talking. I cannot be silent. Okay, I'll stop the demo right now. But you see, I started the clock and I started speaking. It's important to remember that there's no wrong way to do this exercise as long as you keep speaking. You're sending your thoughts. You want to send your thoughts without censoring, editing, or manipulating your thoughts. Report your thoughts as they are. Don't have any attachments to your thoughts. Almost don't consider them to be your thoughts. They're just thoughts that you are sending out to the audience, perhaps for their entertainment. And it's as if you are non-existent during this exercise. You're simply a clear and open conduit between the thoughts and the receiving audience. And you're going to continue to speak your thoughts for the set time. At any point, if you run out of things to say, if you think you have nothing to say, then just say your home phrase. Whatever you want that home phrase to be. You could choose, I'm a great person, or the life is beautiful, or I love my city, or I love my company, or I love so and so. Anything you like. But make sure you have picked a home phrase in advance so that when you start the exercise, you're never out of things to say. At least you have your home phrase to say. All right. So maybe we should do a example now. I will do this example for you live right now. I have no script prepared. I have no idea. I will pick my phrase, my home phrase right now, and I'll do it for, let's say, not 5 minutes, 2 minutes. I'll do it for 2 minutes, and you will see exactly how it's done. You'll see that I will pause just for like a half second, a quarter second, just to read what's here. And for my audience, I will pick, what should I pick? I will pick one person or a group. Let's say it's a group. Let's say I'm in a auditorium of some type, and maybe there is 500 people. 500? Can I imagine 500? Yeah, say about 500 people. Maybe 500 to 1,000 people sitting on it. It's just a group. These are, let's say, recent college graduates. They're in their jobs 1 or 2 years. So I'm addressing them. And how long will I do it? 2 minutes. Do I have my home phrase ready? My home phrase is, I have nothing to tell you. Okay. And I'm not gonna, a reminder, there's no wrong way for me to do this. I need to be sending my thoughts to the audience. There's no wrong way to do this. I have my home phrase picked, and I cannot be silent. That's the most important rule. I cannot be silent during this rule. So so I'm ready to go for 2 minutes, and my clock right now here, my timer is saying I'll start at 12:30, 12:40. So I have 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds to 12:40. Okay, I'm starting my exercise. Welcome to this talk. My timer is running, and I'm gonna go 2 minutes. That means I'll be talking until 14:40. And because, just to remind myself and also to let my audience know, because there's no wrong way to do this exercise, I don't have to sound very intelligent or entertaining. I could be very boring. It could be a mundane topic. It could be life's little worries. My jeans, my jacket. Maybe I should go buy new clothes. I'm out of things to say. I wasn't, but it popped in my head, so I said it anyway. Are you all enjoying yourself? Oh, something is happening to my breathing. Well, it wasn't really big, it was just teeny tiny. Shall I jump to something else now? I notice that it does require, and I want you to know, it does require a little bit of skill in being able to read my thoughts. If I don't read my thoughts, I wouldn't be able to do it in the beginning, but pretty soon I will be able to, because it may take a few times of practice. My clock is at 14:07:08, so I can go another 40 seconds. Am I keeping track of the time right? I wonder what I'm doing. My dear audience, do you know what I'm doing right now? I have no idea. Oh my God, am I channeling thoughts? No, I'm not channeling thoughts. I'm just speaking my own thoughts. And now you're getting sick of my thoughts. Oh, I can't stay silent for too long. Did I really say 14:40? Because boom, that's 14:40 right now. So I'll stop. How did it say? Cut. Okay, so that was my 2 minutes of verbal journaling. It wasn't maybe the best of the examples, but it still should give you a very good idea. Once I'm once I'm in practice and I'm doing it, it may this journaling exercise will take on a very animated, enthusiastic expression, possibly, or just the opposite, very very low key. So, do you get the idea of how to do verbal journaling? How long should you do this? For how long should you do this? Maybe 5-10 minutes is enough. Are there any pitfalls? Are there any risks involved in this exercise? Yes. Over the years, I've been doing this exercise for almost 7-8 years now. There are some risks, and you will kind of have to use your judgment and good sense to manage them. One of the risks is sometimes you can get so worked up after this exercise that you may engage in a conversation with someone, and you may end up being a little bit overbearing or too kind of, what am I trying to say, too much. You may end up being too much. So I have actually, can I share some real stories with you? I won't do it in this video because I want to keep it short, but yes, maybe later I can share. I've had some some bad experiences with that practice, but how many times? Maybe 4 or 5 times. And how many, like, compare that to the benefit, so maybe the benefit is equal to 1,000 times. 1,000 benefit, 4 or 5. So I think it's overall is really worth it. If you're doing this and you're really carefree and you are totally just relaxed and open, well, one thing that happened to me is I would start speaking in rhyming words, like how Shakespeare plays, or yeah, the old-fashioned plays, where the opera theater, the entire play, the dialogue is in rhyming words. So I used to start talking like that. If that happens to you, for sure you can know that you've got it. You should feel also very very energized, optimistic, and you will start notice that you talk to people and in a more engaging, entertaining, intelligent way, much more so, more than before. So though, if you experience that, then you're doing this exercise right. It's very important or useful to keep your attention on your thoughts, because that's where you're going to get your input from. That's where you will see what to say. If you get very advanced with this exercise, you will see that you will not let any thought escape expression. Any thought, as it happens, you express it. And I like to think of it as being with it. There's no wrong way to do this exercise as long as you keep saying something. I hope this was somewhat helpful. Try this exercise. Let me know what your experience was. As you know, I'm promoting my coaching services, and if you'd like to get coaching from me, go to my blog site and email me or call me using my contact info there. Thank you.